Sport tourism refers to travel which involves either observing or participating in a sporting event while staying apart from the tourist's usual environment. Many governments began to realize the extent of the viability of sport tourism when it began to boost the economy of the various nations. Now, recent research shows that sports tourism stands at a value of $1 trillion in the global travel and tourism industry. Grand tournaments like the Olympic Games, FIFA World Cup and other like the NASCAR Sprint Cup series contribute to the ability of sport tourism to grow exponentially. The two events that attract most tourists worldwide are the Olympic and the FIFA World Cup. Now, the London 2012 Summer Olympics, for instance, almost generated £10 billion for the economy of the UK. Let's hear more from the former CEO of London and Partners, the London Official Promotion Agency. Have a look.
And almost £10 billion of economic benefit to the UK economy, most of that coming into London, as you would expect. A lot of institutional investment, foreign direct investment coming into London, but also UK and London firms winning contracts and businesses using their experience and expertise that they developed during the Games and going out and winning businesses overseas off the back of that. We're able to use the Games themselves to get the key senior executives from ABP into London. They were here for the Games to enjoy the sport and what was taking place in the city, but we were able to run an investment hosting programme for them, for 200 other international CEOs, to introduce them to those investment opportunities, the key planning people, the joint venture partners, the financiers, the others. And again, we were able to use that showcase to really accelerate that investment.
Now, for Africa, aside from their participation in world sporting events, there is the African Games, formerly known as the All-African Games or the Pan-African Games. I was able to speak to the special advisor to the Senegalese president on sports issues. He shared his views on the viability of sport tourism in boosting African economies, using example as a case study. Take a listen. The world to Africa, from Europe, from America, from all parts of the continent. That's already one thing. The second thing is that we have a particularity. We have attractive sport, for instance, Senegalese wrestling, which has been discovered in the world, which is also a cultural attraction. So I think in view of this aspect, we can push for thriving sport tourism that will allow us to reap many benefits. Today, the techniques are not yet there because it's not exploited. In my opinion, it's an aspect to exploit. For 2018, Russia is hosting the World Cup, and already the effect is already been felt in the various participating countries. There are several reasons why sport tourism thrive and will continue to thrive. One of the main reasons is that the spike in the number of sport events, the fan base for sport events grow every time it takes place. With sporting events like the Olympics, UEFA Champions League, Cricket World Cup, FIFA World Cup gaining immense popularity, the number of sport tourists has been on sharp rise. The viewer base crosses millions due to this trend, it has become easier to get sponsors for various games and generate revenue from every nook and corner of the world. Now, another reason is the increased spending capacity of masses. About a decade ago, tourism, especially sport tourism, was seen as a luxury, which only a few could afford. It goes unsaid that sport tourism, like many other forms of tourism, is an expensive affair. But as the spending capacity of masses is improving, the takers of sport tourism are also increasing. In addition, with the surge in the number of lifestyle-related health issues, there has been a growing preference for living an active life. Already, the hectic work schedules make it rather difficult for people to make up their minimum physical activities. This is why the newer or the younger generation prefer to vacation in places which will enable them to be more physically active, and participation in the sporting event help them to do this. Finally, traveling throughout the globe has become a lot easier than it used to be. The launch of several low-cost airlines make it easier for sport tourists, to explore almost all the sporting destinations in the world. And with that, we've come to the end of this week's travel segment. Thanks for having me.